Hello there, Ray here, and today we're back on the ProtoTech SMP server because today we will be working with discontinued items and stuff like that because currently we are in 1.8 for our server, and when we upgrade to 1.9 there are some things that will change and we want to take advantage of the content that is still in 1.8 while it's still available. So that's what we will be doing today. So the first thing on the list is to take advantage of the floating ice that comes in 1.8. So in 1.8 you can place down ice and then have the ice be melted by a light source, and then the ice will turn to water, but it'll keep its same form. Now in 1.9 this changes, so what I want to do is build a nice bubble of air down here using this ice in the 1.8, so that at 1.9 I will have a nice kind of like a big bubble of air down here, and there's a lot of room to work, so this is where I'm going to start up. I went ahead and built the main structure here. There is 6 sides and it's just alternating with ice and slime blocks. That's because we will later take out the slime blocks and it'll just be ice. Then we will melt the ice and it will just be water. Just be water here and air inside. So now I'm just going to come around and place an ice on top of all the slime blocks here. Now I went ahead and put ice over top of all the slime blocks. So now it's completely covered with ice. Now I have to get inside of here somehow so that I can work from the inside. I'll just remove one of these. So now from the inside here I'll just fill this up with slime blocks, and then I will be able to remove all this water. So I removed all the water using slime blocks. Now we have left is just the slime blocks which were used for to build the structure. So now we can just knock out all the slime blocks and we'll be left with just ice. So now the next step is to just put in some light source and let this all melt down. So we want to make sure the light source is able to melt all the ice here. I think this is the farthest piece of ice down here. And just stick a light source up a little bit higher. We'll stick it right there, and then we'll just fill this thing up with you see it's started melting already. Just put down a layer of glowstone here and it'll start melting everything. So now we just have to make sure all the ice is getting enough of light so that it melts, and then we just wait for the rest of the ice to melt, and then we can remove this glowstone. The last piece of ice melted, so now all we have to do is come in and remove the glowstone here, and then what we will be left with is just a pocket of air down here with nothing inside. So let's remove this glowstone and see what it looks like. Make sure all the ice is removed before we remove the last block from within inside of this. Yeah, it looks all good. So let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it looks pretty crazy. So there you have it, a bubble under the ocean. It's like a pocket of air. Yeah, you can't do that in 1.9. The next thing on our list to do is to do some bedrock breaking, and we're going to be using the bed technique, which is removed in 1.9. It's even removed in some versions of 1.8, but in our version we still have it here, and we are currently underneath of the world spawn point. This is the spawn chunks here, and this is down at bedrock level. Now with beds, unlike other bedrock breaking techniques, you can actually use them to dig a hole that is 2 by 1 right through bedrock. So here I'm at the lowest layer of bedrock. This down here is Y level 0 bedrock, and it goes up to Y level 4, which is up there. Right there, you can see that's the highest bedrock there. This is the lowest, and you can actually put holes through the bedrock so that you can actually build secret tunnels underneath of here just by using beds. Now this uses 2 different bed techniques. It uses a technique with vines as well as a technique with grass. So first you want to come in and put down your grass block. Then you want to put a trapdoor up against it. And then we use bone meal on the grass block to have grass grow on top of there. Then once you're staying on top of your trapdoor here, your player will be high enough where he can actually place the bed at the top layer of the grass. Now you can see the hitbox of the grass and how I'm actually aiming at the very top layer of the grass here. Now if I click on the bed, it'll allow me to place the bed on top of the grass. And this will remove the bedrock that's in front of it. Now I can come in and remove the bed and remove the grass block below. This will remove the trapdoor. Then I can come in and use a vine up against the bedrock, and the vine will allow it so that when I place the bed up against the top piece of the spine, I can remove the second piece of the bedrock. And by using these 2 techniques, you can actually dig tunnels through the bedrock at the lowest level of bedrock. And you can also do this in the Nether if you want to. Now I'm going to dig a tunnel over to a location over here, which is kind of special. So we arrived at our location, so I'm not going to dig any farther, but yeah, that went pretty nice. It's a little bit tough to do, but after a while you get kind of a hang of it, and it went pretty fast. You can see that tunnel looks pretty sweet now. It's like a tunnel that goes right through the bedrock. And the area that we came to is, well, it's not too special, but we'll talk about it later. But you can see this bedrock tunnel here. It's pretty crazy actually to have a tunnel going straight through bedrock. This is in spawn chunks as well. So yeah, it's going to be really nice to have this tunnel. I'll be able to take me back to the center of spawn, and then it'll take me out to my new location over there. Yeah, this bedrock tunnel is pretty sweet. Now, this is all done with beds, so you can actually keep track of like how much bedrock you break just by looking at your statistics of how many times you place a bed down, because I don't really place down many beds unless I'm breaking bedrock. So you can see I broke around 17,000 bedrock, and I know a lot of the other players, they probably got like 100,000 bedrock broken, because yeah, they were breaking a lot of bedrock at one time. So the next thing on our list is to acquire a stationary gas fireball in the overworld. So first we're going to have to build a gas catcher, and I'm going to build a really simple and quick gas catcher right in the center between these two portals here, and then we'll see if we can catch some gas out of this thing. So what we need is a single gas in the overworld to have the gas be able to shoot a fireball, and then we can get up into a stationary position. So what we have here is just a big portal here, and this is what we're going to actually use to spawn in the gas. This portal here is just going to have it so that any mobs that want to spawn can actually spawn on top of this obsidian here, because it's a nice solid block, and these portal blocks themselves don't actually have a collision box, so mobs can actually spawn there as long as the light level is not too high. Now for gas and like pigmen and lava slimes, they don't care what level the light is, so the gas will spawn in there, and the portal itself is 4 meters high so that the gas does not bump up against the top. So the gas should be able to spawn in there. And then what we will do is just AFK up above the farm so that nothing else can spawn except for right here. And then once the gas goes through the portal, we'll just catch them over on the other side. So we don't want mobs spawning on top of the portal, so we're just going to put some bottom slabs here on top of this portal so that we don't have any mobs spawning here, and then all the mobs will only be able to spawn inside of the portal. Now we are putting this bottom slab flange around the portal here. This just allows it so that when mobs spawn, if they start their spawning out here, then they'll be able to, move their spawning, like the spawning starts here. Then if they set some other mobs around them, they might happen to set one right over here. So just by moving this flange out a little bit, we can have spawning start out here, and that will help that place mobs within the portal, since like within first 4 meters or so where most of the mobs will be set around the initial mob which spawns in. So now we need to go through this portal and set up a portal on the other side, which we can use to catch the gas or any other things that come through the portal. We kind of need to sort out the pigmen from the gas as well. So the portal is here. This is a good spot. This is another island right beside my island. My other island is over there. So we'll set the portal up right up in the sky over here. I finished the overworld side for the gas catcher here. It's really simple. We just have the portal which the gas will come out of, and then he'll just be sitting inside of this portal, kind of partly inside of it and partly out of it, and he'll be placed to one side a little bit, so he might be on this side or he might be on that side by 1 meter, and then he'll just be stuck between that bottom piece there, these side rails here, and then the top piece up there, so he won't be able to move. And then from there he'll be just fine. We can just leave him there, and then we can try to use him to actually shoot fireballs in that direction, and then we'll have them get unloaded over there. So I have my alternate account up here at the top of the world in the Nether, and I'm directly above that portal that's down below, and I use slime blocks to stack up so that it would not increase the block height, so that the game does not check up here to try to add more mobs. And down below is the portal, and hopefully we have a gas that will spawn down there. And I know I've seen some pigmen spawn in there, so I'm thinking I'm just going to AFK here a little while. If I don't get one, then I'll probably just AFK overnight and see if I get a gas. About less than a half hour has went by, and I see I got gas there. I already went ahead and name tagged it last night, and here's early morning. And now I'm going to have to get this portal shut down, and then hopefully if I remove that portal, then he will be able to see me and start shooting at me. So I'm going to have to also make sure he doesn't shoot me prematurely. So I might have to put up some safeguards around here, kind of. Maybe I'll just kind of put it like that. get in here and remove this portal. Should be safe. If he does shoot me off, then that's why I name take him, so that he wouldn't despawn. Let's get some more slime blocks. Oh, I'm out of slime blocks. So I'll grab some more slime blocks, and I think he's kind of contained over there. He'll probably shoot at me if I remove this wall here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now I got this walkway, which I'll try to stand over there and then have him shoot past and shoot off from that distance. Remove this one as well. Set it a little lower, so hopefully he can shoot over it. And then this will kind of be my safe side over here. Yeah, okay. So if I get him to shoot, and then it goes off in the distance, and then hopefully I'll unload out there. I'll do a couple more. Yeah, that's good. Maybe, see, that's kind of not completely straight. Maybe I can have him shoot one over here. No? Here? Oh yeah, he has that. Part of that portal is in his head. Nope, that one hit. See there? There. That one was pretty high. Yeah, that's a good distance out there. We'll get a couple more. We always can remove them if we don't want them. Oh yeah, that's a good one. So I'm here at my island, and the fireball should be just off in this direction. Up in the sky a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there they are. There's a couple of them. Wow, there's quite a few of them. Now if I hit F3 and B, yeah, you can see them really easily. Yeah, that's good. Now I think the next thing on our list to do is try to get some wither skulls to be stationary like that. So the way that I'm going to try to get the stationary wither skulls is that I'm going to have to summon a wither up here, and he's being on top of this pillar here. And he's being high enough up so that he's not going to be attacking anything down below, so he's just going to be sitting up here. And after a while he'll get kind of bored, and then he'll shoot some wither skulls off, and then hopefully they get shot off in this direction. And then once they get far enough out, they'll get unloaded, and then they'll just get, where they get stuck out there, will be stationary, and then we can go over there and move them if we want to. But to get the wither to be summoned up here, so that I'm not around, so he doesn't have to try to target me, I'm going to have this dispenser here, put on the last wither skull. What I'll do is just put an arrow into this pressure plate back here, and then that will power the dispenser, and then there's also a torch underneath here, which is unpowered. And then after 1 minute, the arrow here will despawn, and then that will cause the dispenser to power itself, and then that will put on the last wither skull. So that way I'm not around here, so the wither won't actually target me. So let's give this a try. I'll put down a skull there. We won't put this skull in quite yet. Put an arrow in there. Then I think everything's ready. Then we can put this skull in there. And I'll just sit over here and wait for the wither to get summoned. Should take about 1 minute for the wither to actually get summoned. And that's how long it takes for the arrow to despawn. Yep, the wither is being summoned right now. And he will explode. Now he's just going to sit up there and he's going to get kind of bored. And hopefully he'll start shooting some skulls off into the distance. Let's turn F3 and B on. Yep, there's some skulls. He's going to shut off. Kind of random. They're hitting stuff. There's some more going off that direction. So I'm just going to AFK here a little bit and let him shoot some more skulls off. So I've been having the wither sit up there and shooting off some wither skulls. So there should be plenty of wither skulls to choose from. Now we're just going to have to kill the wither. Let's see if we can actually hit the wither. Oh yeah, that made him mad. Oh yeah, he's not happy. He's not happy at all. Let's see if we can catch a kill him. See my notch apple. Come down here. How about that? Oh yeah. He does not like that. He's not very good. on, die. There you go. Now I've seen some of the wither skulls. There they are. But they flew off in this direction. There's our portal farm, so they came pretty far. I see there's like maybe at least 5 of them. They're kind of glitchy. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. But yeah, it did work. Got a bunch of them out there. I'm sure there's a bunch around other directions as well. So now we're going to do this with blaze projectiles, which are the small fireballs. And so Rusty was online and he helped me get this blaze from the Nether over into the overworld. We brought it through his portal here. So we got blaze here. We also named it. So now we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with like the gas and the wither. But I'm just going to be standing up here, and then I'm going to just move these slime blocks here, and then I'm going to let the blaze try to shoot at me. I did have a fire resistance, but I lost my fire resistance. But when he turns on fire like that, he's just going to start shooting. And then hopefully he shoots some of them, like you seen that one went off into the distance. So we'll do the same thing. Try not to get hit by them. Yeah, all of them are going off over there, which is really nice. And so I'm here at the edge of the border where the blaze projectiles ended. You see those are all the gas ones here. Now there's one that's right here that's invisible right now, but it flickers. Now that is a blaze projectile. It looks just like a gas one, but smaller. You can kind of see that smaller. But yeah, it's right here, and there's another one over here a little bit. It's kind of hard to see them because they flicker. They flicker less. You can see a bunch of them right there as well. But yeah, those are all the blaze projectiles. So yeah, they got all collected here at the edge of the chunks as well. So we got all 3 projectiles. We got the gas projectiles, the fireballs, and we got the small fireballs, and then we got the wither skulls. So we should be good with those. We are collecting these stationary projectiles because in 1.9 they changed it so now that these projectiles, even when they get unloaded, they'll actually remember their momentum, and they'll just keep on moving once you load them. Now in 1.8 this isn't true. Once they have reached the outer borders where they unload, they will just get frozen like this. So that's why we're collecting them now, because they won't be around in 1.9. The next thing on our list is to get a double chest full of enchanted golden apples or notch apples. And what we have here is our gold farm is up above the nether hub, and then all the gold is dropped and stored down here. And then this compartment here is where we have all the gold, mostly nuggets. And then you can come down after you craft them into bars. Down here you take the bars and then craft them into blocks over there. So then we take those and make notch apples. Now I AFK'd a little bit up at the gold farm, and I think I got like around 500,000 pigman kills on my alternate account. But Rusty, yeah, he AFK'd a lot. He actually AFK'd the majority of the gold to get the golden apples. I think he got like over 1,000 XPs on 3 accounts just by AFKing. And yeah, he has like way over 1,000,000. I think he has like 1,000,000 pigman kills on like 3 accounts as well. So yeah, he got all this gold pretty much. Probably did like a couple apples worth of couple stacks, but yeah, he did the majority of them. So now we got all their enchanted golden apples, which you can no longer craft in 1.9. So now we can check that one off our list as well. So the next thing on our list is to get a double chest of silk shears. Now this was done by Joneses, I believe. I believe he did all this. But in 1.8 you can have the silk enchantment onto shears. This was used to get cobwebs, but in 1.9 they removed that. They actually removed the ability to even put silk touch on shears, but they also removed the ability where you need silk touch shears to get cobwebs. You can just use normal shears. So now we got a double chest of silk shears, 1.8 discontinued item. Yep, so that one's checked off our list as well. So the last one that we're going to do that's on our list is to get a cleric that is a 1.8 cleric that has the Eye of Enders for sale. Now in 1.9 they removed the ability to get Eyes of Ender from clerics in Minecraft, and this was probably due to you needing the Eyes of Ender to get to the dragon, which is the end game. So they didn't want people just to get a cleric and then get the eyes. They wanted people to get the ender pearls and also get the blaze rods, which come from the blazes. So here we got our cleric. He's not a perfect cleric, but he's pretty close. He got the lowest flesh trade and lowest gold trade. He got a okay redstone trade, the best lapis trade, the best Ivandra trade. Not such a good glowstone trade, but he has a, I don't know, it's okay, bottle of enchantment trade, but you know, at least he has Eye of Ender, so that in case in the future we want to get Eye of Enders, we can get them for the lowest price. Now there actually was one more thing on the list to do in 1.8 before updating to 1.9, and that was to actually obtain Bedrock block as an item and do this in survival. Now this was possible to do prior to the 1.9 release, but afterwards they actually made it in 1.9 so that even if you were able to trick the game into dropping you the Bedrock block item, it would not actually do that. But in 1.8 you can actually do this, but I haven't got around to figuring out a way how to actually do it, so we're not gonna actually do that, but maybe in the future if I get bored and got some time, I'll try to figure out how you can actually obtain Bedrock in survival. Now also on my list were some items that were unique to 1.8, such as these Vaw Maybes, which have the floating pumpkin heads above their heads. Now if you would update them to 1.9, the pumpkins would be placed back down lower and actually on their heads and not just floating above them. And this sort of stuff we weren't able to do because it just resets itself in the later versions. So this was one of them, and like reverted potions, which are potions which you can revert back, and they just have like a different data value. And in 1.9 those are removed altogether, and then stuff like negative stacked items are also removed in later versions. Like in 1.11 they're completely removed. And there's a bunch of other little stuff like that that just didn't pan out, so we didn't do that. Now that we have finished the list of the 1.8 stuff that can no longer be done in 1.9, we can now update to 1.9. So thanks for joining me as I have fun in survival, and I'll see you in 1.9.